I'm a huge fan of group work and a huge fan of working in groups in combination with individual therapy. Um, One of the things I've noticed is that so many of my patients who are able to combine the two definitely accelerate their growth at a rate that's far in excess of what people who aren't doing that can. Um, I believe that the advantage of doing group work is that whatever you're taking from individual therapy, you've got a formal environment where you can practice. And for the majority of my patients, in terms of their inner world, they haven't had an environment that was set up. And this is often the core of their difficulties, is that they haven't had either an environment or literally any individual who was able to slow things down, be conscious of where they were, make space, respond, listen, talk, just to be there with your inner truth at any level, let alone be able to actually stay with those parts of you. And so what happens is that you simply don't develop the ability to stay with your experience in the company of anybody. This is a fundamental human need, is that we need each other and we need each other's presence with the truth of whatever we're experiencing. So as a result of that deficit, you don't have the capacity to stay, to receive, to be with yourself and others at a fuller level. And so our lives are usually much poorer for it. It's like a nutrient. And if we don't have access to that nutrient, we're going to feel sickly and weak. And typically we'll then blame ourselves or try to supercharge ourselves with caffeine or any other form of soothing or stimulation. So that's something to really consider, is that for a number of reasons. One, sometimes people don't have access to a therapist or the therapist that they choose. And so this becomes a more accessible and affordable way to do it. So it's a motivation for a lot of people. But the other is, as a complement to individual therapy, there's a place where you can practice being this fuller, emerging version of yourself in the world, in an environment that is there and structured for that purpose. Now, lots of different support groups out there. For support groups that are purely for the purpose of support, typically the formula is that there's no religious affiliation, there's no spiritual or energetic agenda. It's not even an explicitly educational program. It's simply an environment where you can turn up and be valued for, not for competing, not for building, not for strategizing, not for even for giving, but just purely for your presence, that is valued for no other reason other than you exist. And you exist as the person that you have now become. Very, very powerful to have an environment where you can practice that socially. It then becomes programmed into you that, okay, that's the standard. That's what I expect in my world. So then you go forward and you start to identify people who have the similar capacity, similar capability of giving you what you need in that way. So can't recommend it highly enough. Ever since COVID, far easier to find Zoom groups. In fact, I'm part of a group that's based in America, and part of the appeal is the anonymity, little bit of a different flavor in terms of how they think and do things. But with Zoom, there's really a lot of the obstacles have disappeared. So you're able to do those sessions over the phone, at home, in your lounge, in your bedroom, in your car. So you can find privacy. It's far more convenient, a lot cheaper. But the primary thing is that you get to practice being you in an environment that's there to help you do that. And there's no better way for you to bridge the benefits of individual therapy and weave them into your life. So go and find a group. I'm such a big fan.